Shalom, Israel. Shalom to the Kaya. We want to say about Yahawah, Yahawah, achad. We're going to start off today. Matter of fact, I'm going to just give you a little rundown. I'm going to be talking about just, a couple of things like equality, technology, employment, politics, and religion, So we're just going to go over just a couple of things that I wanted to share that I never really got to bring out because I kept getting kicked offline, So we're going to bring it out in this video. All praises to the Most High Yahawah. We'll start it off by bringing out some scripture. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 9, right? Verse 10. It says, the beginning of wisdom is fear of Yahawah, and the beginning of understanding is knowledge of the sacred. Right? So, first we must realize that the beginning of wisdom is to fear Yahawah, and the beginning of understanding is knowledge of the sacred, knowledge of the Torah, So, we're going to get into it. We're going to bring out another scripture real quick, right? Say, we're still in Proverbs chapter 8, verse 22. Yahawah made me as the beginning of his way, before his deeds of yore. I have reigned for all times, from the beginning, from before there was the earth. When there were no depths, I was formed. And when there was no depths, I was formed. When there was no pools rich with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills were formed. When he had not yet made the earth and its environs, or the first dust of its inhabited world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he etched out the globe upon the face of the depths, when he strengthened the heavens above, when he fortified the well springs of the depths, when he set for the sea its limit, and the waters would not transgress what his word, when he forged the foundations of the earth, right? He said, I was then his nursery. I was then his delight every day, playing before him at all times, playing in the inhabited areas of the earth. My delights are with the sons of men. Right? Say, now listen, children, listen to me. Praiseworthy are those who keep my ways. Hearken unto discipline and grow wise, and you will not reject wisdom. See? So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to bring that out, that wisdom, because the Torah is wisdom. You gain wisdom in age. You know what I'm saying? Old age, right? But that Torah is that wisdom. Like he said in chapter 9, knowledge of the sacred. That's that wisdom, knowledge. So we're going to get into the wisdom, knowledge, and that understanding. So I want to give that, a lot of people don't really understand how different things affects our society, like equality, technology, employment, politics, and religion. These things have a very, big influence on how society is ran today by the wicked leaders of our society. Man, hey, but Yahawah, that they plans, don't go through as they, seek out to do, But as you can see, I got on the screen, Chakma is wisdom. You know, Chakma, wisdom, skill. You know, wisdom, wisely, wits. You know, Chakma. It's because, you know what I'm saying, all praise to the Most High Yahawah, you know, He give you skill. You know what I'm saying? Give you wits. You know, check this out. Dot, right? Dot is what? Understanding, concern, truth, right? Unintentional, what? Premeditation, skill, right? Knowledge is also skill, see that? And truth, right? So we using wisdom and knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get the Most High's truth today. Praises to the Most High Yahawah, who is achad, you know. Now, what we doing is we're gonna try to gain some what? Manah. We're gonna try to gain some understanding. Manah. You know what I'm saying? We gonna try to make things a little bit clearer. You know what I'm saying? So manah, right? Understanding, clearly, consideration, discernment, truth, right? So we're gonna try to get some truth in this understanding, you know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High, you know, who gives wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we're gonna first start off today, you know, by talking about equality. What is equality? Right? Equality is the state of being equal, or what? Equal in status, so-called rights, right? Because they say we have rights. So the state of being equal in what? Status or rights or opportunities. And we know, you know, because of, you know what I'm saying, living in this so-called America, we know that equality is just not really what's popping right now. You know, we're just not equal in reality. You know, because the Torah say, you know, that the Torah say that, you know, it's just not, we're not equal, you know, like, who walk in Yah is better. Like, I'm not going to classify any genders, nations. I'm just going to say who walk in Torah, who walk in Yahawah. You know what I'm saying? You better than the next man. Because Yahawah going to guard you. Yahawah going to shield you. You know, He going to give you wisdom, knowledge, understanding. He going to give you height and length, width. Barak Yahawah. You know what I'm saying? There's no other savior, I tell you. But equality, right? The state of being equal. Is we equal here in America? Is so-called black man? Is you equal to the so-called white man? Or the Arab? You know? I still don't see that neither. Or the African is. Because the Arab, the African, they come over here and open up businesses. You've been here over 400 years and you still struggling. And we got all these so-called athletes, you know what I'm saying, musicians, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we still struggling. Could that be because we're under the curses? Then what is technology? What is technology? Technology is the science of craft, right? And it comes from the Greek. is skills, methods, and processes used in the production of something good or some services, right? That's what technology is, science of a craft. It's come from the Greek, science, right? Well, who created science? You know, who created mathematics? Yahawah, right? Check this out. They got humanoid robots, right? Humanoids. It's crazy. Right? Alright, check this out, right? This is a humanoid. This is what I'm talking about. It's these robots, man. They coming up. Well, they been. Maybe
I should host the show. Okay, alright. Stay in your lane, girl. No. Jimmy, would you like to play a game of rock, paper, scissors, robot style? Okay, let's get this game going. Show me your hand to start. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won. I've learned to dominate the fish in the grace. I've learned to dominate the fish in the grace.
robot. Crazy.
I've learned to dominate the fish in the grace.
That's what I'm talking about. So, you know what I'm saying? That's technology. Big technology is just enhancing and getting greater and greater. But it's fun. It's wicked, you know what I'm saying? They're doing wicked things with, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge that they gain. You know what I'm saying? So, which brings me to another topic, that of employment, right? So, man, there's so many people that's unemployed, you know what I'm saying, over here in the States. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it is outside the States. You know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of places aren't good. You know what I'm saying? According to what's being told to the people in the States by me, right? But what is employment? Basically, employment is a relationship between two parties, right? Usually by contract, right? Where you get paid for your work, your profit, some type of organization. That's what employment is, right? Modern day slavery. But you get paid, right? So, employment, man, that's a tough topic because, you know, there's so many people unemployed, man. So, like, I got family members and friends that's, you know, not bad people that just have rough time getting jobs, you know. And it's basically because of what they look like, you know, which take you right back to equality. The state of being equal, showing you that we're just not equal here in the States. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about also what politics and religion. What is politics? The activities associated with governance of a country, right, or an area, right, a debate, conflict, right, among parties or peoples. And they're hoping for what? Power. That's what politics is. Religion is belief in worship of a superhuman but controlling power, like God or God's faith or belief. That's what religion is. Or worship of a superhuman, Superman, right? Something that do not exist, right? Which takes you to religion and politics, right? They had to establish church and faith, right? Then what? They had to be toleration of the religious practice and practical authority, which is takes you to liberal citizenship, right? And that's what private self-understanding, right? Then it takes you to the role of religion in public deliberation. And that's one thing that they've been taking out year by year. They've been taking religion away from the public. Basically, I believe because discussions on doctrinal differences, that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go to this article, right? We'll go to this article and we're going to talk about it. It's religious reasons and public deliberation. One recent trend in democratic theory is an emphasis on the need for the democratic decisions to emerge from processes that are informed by deliberation on part of the censors, rather than from a emerged aggregation of preferences. As a result, there has been much attention devoted to the kinds of reasons that may or may not be appropriate for public deliberation in pluralistic society. See, while responses to these issues may have made reference to all kinds of beliefs, much of the discussion has centered around religious beliefs. One reason for this emphasis is that both historically and in contemporary societies, religion has played a central role in political life, and often it has done so for the worse. Witness the wars of religion in Europe that came to the wake of the Protestant Reformation, for example, such it is a powerful political force, and it strikes many who write about this issue as a source of social instability and repression. Another reason for that, due to the nature of religious belief itself, if any kind of belief of inappropriate for public deliberation, then religious beliefs will be prime candidate, either because they are irrational or immune to critique or inevitable, etc. In other words, religion provides a useful test case in evaluating theories of public deliberation. See what I'm saying? Check it out. We ain't done yet. We're going to check it out. Much of the literature of this area has been prompted by Rawls' development of the notion of public reason, which he introduced in public liberalism, and offered in somewhat revised form. In his essay, The Idea of Public Reason Revisited, his view is not as clear expressed as one would wish, and it involved the publication of public liberalism. But the idea of something like this, when reasonable citizens engage in public deliberation on constitutional essentials, they must do so by offering reasons that do not appeal to any comprehensive doctrine. See what I'm saying? That do not appeal to any comprehensive doctrine. Some citizens have sharp disagreements on comprehensive doctrines. See, some citizens have sharp disagreements on comprehensive doctrines. Any law or policy that necessarily depends on such a doctrine could not be reasonably accepted by those who reject the doctrine. A prime example of the justification for a law that is publicly inaccessible in this way, that one that is explicitly religious, for example, for the rationale for the law that outlawed working on Sunday was simply that it displeases the Christian God. See, the Christian God. Non-Christians could not reasonably accept it. See what I'm saying? But basically, what they saying is, you know what I'm saying, because of, you know what I'm saying, doctrinal differences, you know what I'm saying, that the people discuss, you know what I'm saying, this is the reason they start taking, you know what I'm saying, the religion, you know what I'm saying, away from like schools and, you know what I'm saying, different places, you know what I'm saying, like courthouses, you know what I'm saying, different places used to have, you know what I'm saying, Bible readings or Bibles around, and they just started taking them away. Now the only places you really see them at basically is in hospitals, right? I'm just keeping it 100. Alright, I didn't want to make a long video, you know, pretty much cover everything, but I'm going to end it right here with religion and politics. You know, I just wanted to bring out a little wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know. So we're going oh, there we go. So now we're finna bring this on now. Say the relation between religion and politics continue to be an important theme in political philosophy, despite the emerging consensus both among political theorists and in practical political content, such as the United Nations on the right to freedom of conscience and on the need for some sort of separation between church and state. One reason for the importance of this topic is that religions often make strong claims on people. Allegiance and universal religions make these claims on all people that rather than just a particular community. For example, Islam has traditionally held that all people owe obedience to Allah's will. Thus, it is probably inevitable that religious communities will sometimes come into conflict with the demands of politics, but religious beliefs and practices also potentially support politics in many ways. The extent and form of this support is important to political philosophers as is the possibility for conflict. Moreover, there has been a growing interest in minority groups and the political rights and entitlements they are due. One result of this interest is substantial attention given to the particular concerns and needs of minority groups who are distinguished by their religion as opposed to ethnicity, gender, or wealth. Check it out. This article surveys some of the philosophical problems. This article surveys some of the philosophical problems raised by the various ways in which religion and politics may intersect. The first two main sections are devoted to topics that have been important in various areas, such various shalom important in previous areas, especially on on early modern era. Although in both sections there is discussion of analogs to these topics that are pressing for contemporary political thought, one, establishing of the church or faith versus complete separation of the state, and two, toleration of toleration versus coercion of religious belief, right? And current conflicts between religious practice and political authority. See,